Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. So for today's video, I don't want you guys clicking on this video thinking it's gonna be some sort of just like, oh my god, LeBron James is the greatest thing ever out there, because it's not that type of video. It's more or less the logic behind the MVP award and just talking about like, what is it exactly? I really do not understand what this award is or how you obtain it. You know, it seems like every single year the criteria for the award changes, and it's starting to really make no sense for me, man. So every single season, you know, at the end of the regular season, we start having this debate on like who was the most valuable player throughout the entire NBA season. And then the playoffs happen. Apparently the playoffs don't mean anything when talking about the most valuable player. When it comes to voting, you're not supposed to take that into consideration, which makes no sense considering that the NBA is about winning championship rings. That makes no sense to me whatsoever, man. I'm sorry, but if Donovan Mitchell is leading me deep in the playoffs, or if Jason Tatum's leading me deep in the playoffs, then I'm going to count that towards things like Rookie of the Year. So really the whole award system being based just off of the regular season and not also the playoffs makes little sense to me. And then after, you know, the championship happens, you gotta wait like 2 or 3 weeks, and, you know, the NBA wants to have this little awards show, which just makes like no sense waiting that long to do it, because at this point I'm not hyped about it anymore. I'm just like, all right, let's get the free agency. I don't care about last season or anything like that. But then you got the actual MVP award itself. So this video is being made before the actual award show, and I know one of the big names up there is James Harden. So some will say that James Harden has deserved it, you know, a few other times in the past, and I can definitely agree with that. I mean, looking at his stats for the past few seasons, this season averaged 30 points, 9 assists. Last year, 29 points, 11 assists. Year before, 29 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds out there. Just absolutely crazy numbers, right? Never won MVP yet. But then you have LeBron James, who this season played, I believe, all 82 games. Dropped 28 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Probably his best. You might even argue this is his best season ever. Like, looking at it, it might be his best season ever. He's won MVPs in years past with worse stats, but this year people are saying James Harden deserves it. And, you know, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. That's neither here nor there. I just don't understand how this award happens, because oh my god, it's so confused. And then you got Anthony Davis, who dropping 28 points, 11 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks per game. And it's like he's in the consideration more so for the Defense Player of the Year than he is the MVP award. But it's like, do you really think Anthony Davis has a chance? No, you don't. But you look at the stats, and you could argue saying that Anthony Davis, from a stats standpoint, has put up the best numbers. But it's like he has no chance over James Harden to win the MVP. And then you want to look at the win-loss column. And it's like, yeah, the Houston Rockets were the better team, but you also could say they have the better roster out there, right? You could also make the change. You could also make the case saying that, you know, if you took James Harden off the Houston Rockets, then they would still be probably better than the Cleveland Cavaliers were this NBA season, just based on how trash that roster was outside LeBron, right? Because you still got Chris Paul. Aaron Gordon would replace James Harden. Not, of course, he's no James Harden, but he's one hell of a good shooting guard. You got Clint Capella out there, so it seems like the talent of the roster is also not really taken into consideration of this. But then, like I was saying, man, you look at the win-loss columns, okay? This was the Cleveland Cavaliers' record for the 4 years that LeBron James was on the Miami Heat. First year, 19-63. Second, 21-45. Third, 24-58. Fourth, 22-49. Then he comes back and that teams go 53-29. So I just don't understand how you win this award, if it's even really got any logic to it, or if it's just kind of more like a feeler thing. Like, no, I feel like this guy should get it this year, but it's not really based off of anything. Like, every single season, maybe the variables change. Maybe it's based off just the landscape and the feel of the NBA for that specific season, and you're not supposed to look at years past. Because I'm just very confused by this award, guys. But then it's like, I always thought about maybe renaming it, because you think about value, and that's the term in MVP that you have to talk about. Value, the V. I want to say like the man, the V, yeah. MVP, most valuable player. But how is value measured in the NBA? In my opinion, it's by championship rings, you know, getting to the finals, wins, and things like that. but also stats, I guess, is a thing. Although if that's the case, then Anthony Davis would be the MVP. And then it's almost like you want to rename the reward to the MTP, the most talented player. So, I want your guys' thoughts about this in the comment section below. Do you think the MVP award, like, what do you think of it? How do you yourself decipher who the MVP is? Is it something you base off a year-to-year thing? Is it like a fixed equation? Or is it just something that every single season might change? And it's more of a feeler out there, guys, because I don't know, man. I can't say I take too much into the whole MVP consideration thing, because the award itself to me just is so illogical that it's hard for me to really just think about that award and be like, yo, that's what makes a great NBA player. Kobe Bryant, how many MVP, guys? Not that many. Does Kobe have an MVP? I think he has one, doesn't he? I think the Kobe Bryant has one MVP, and you look you look at the other players that won it in the Kobe era. I don't have it listed in front of me. My apologies for that. I'm sure there were some great ones out there. But you're telling me out of the, nearly 20 years in the NBA that Kobe Bryant was in it, that he was the most valuable player only one time? Is that what I'm being told here by the NBA gods? You got, oh my god, I just saw something else, guys. I got stats pulled up on my end right here, right, man? Russell Westbrook last season, I'm sorry, 2 seasons ago, won MVP for getting a triple-double and leading his team to, what was it, like 54 wins? Or was it 48? Something around there, guys. Give or take a few wins. This season had the same exact record. Give or take one game or two. Averaged a triple-double. Is not even in consideration for the goddamn bitch-ass award. Nobody's talking about Russell Westbrook this season. What does it all mean? Help me, guys. Help me.